Druid hit the button. It's still cold here, so I'm wearing a hat and a coat. And I went and made a clip and put it in my Discord. And I was actually wearing the same shirt in that clip from 4 years ago that I'm wearing today. So weird. Okay, so what are we doing? Druid, why are you playing LotRO? Because, okay, let's be honest. I have not been streaming LotRO on this channel for much of the past few months. And that shit needs to change. In my defense, I was trying a little variety stuff that didn't seem to pan out. I'll be playing Dune off stream, thank you very much. Also, quite frankly, I was playing in Legion Remix. And that really wasn't pulling in a lot of viewers. I mean, it was pulling in some of the Warcraft people, but not really doing much by way of business. And DDO was doing the Symphony of the Fae event, which ends, this weekend. So I won't feel obligated to stream DDO every friggin' night of the week. So I'm going to shift back to my usual shenanigans and play some more Lord of the Rings Online. Because LotRO is my biggest MMO love, and I have not been showing it enough love. And yes, this is because they just opened the content creator application process. So I gotta suck it up and get some content out there, and it's gonna be decent content. But first, I want to clean up my account. Okay? As you can see, I've got characters here that are sitting around that are low level with some really nice names. And I kind of feel like I should clean house. So that's what we're going to do tonight is we're going to clean house on multiple servers. So this is Grand. Mainly because while they still haven't turned off the special Yule presence, I've been rolling on all of the servers, and Grand is the first one I go to every day. So there's that. So I hope everybody's having a good day. Oh, Chatty McChat. It is, of course, a quiet day. It's Thursday. I never could get the hang of Thursdays. Let me check my stream manager. Okay, I am actually playing. Good. I ain't even got the bot in chat. Holy crap. All the bots are there. Okay. So it's just Twitch lying to me. Alright, it's not unusual. Okay, so one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at these really cool names that I've been sitting on that maybe other people would like to use. And I'm going to release them into the wild. I might keep a couple of them that are special that I actually have vague plans for, but we'll see. We'll see how we do. It is cold where I am. It is also very snowy, and I've been extremely lazy and also in a lot of pain since I shoveled some of the snow Monday morning. So I have not shoveled since that day. And I really need to get off my ass and do some more of that. Probably tomorrow, or just get off my ass and feel like I need to throw $50 at somebody to do it for me. Okay, so Alanon. That name I like because it is from the Shannara series. I love the name. And I don't actually have it. I need to actually, hold on. I have a spreadsheet. Let me grab my spreadsheet of Doom, Chaos, and Destruction. Because I want to see, do I have an Alanon on another server that I play more often? And I know I don't have it on Peregrine because somebody beat me to that name. Alas, alack. I don't have it on Glamdring. I do not have it on Mary or Orchrist. I have it on Sting, and I actually have played the character on Sting. Okay. Okay, so we are going to release this name into the wild. I mean, I love the character from the books because, hello, my name is Druidsfire. Druidsfire comes from the Shannara books. And Alanon, and that is the correct pronunciation. It was in the TV show. And also, I heard it straight from the mouth of Terry Brooks himself, the author of the Shannara series. So, anybody on Grand who wants to name Alanon, have it. Bits and Bobs. This was actually intended to be a storage character for me. Not using it, getting rid of it. I don't know why it keeps going to that follow-up page. Bluebell. Ooh. I've had the name Bluebell on a burglar on Arkenstone from the day the game launched. Actually, 3 days before open beta. In open beta. And I've always wanted to get that character name on other servers just in case, but I kind of feel like I don't need to do that, right? So... and I have the name on Peregrine on my primary Hobbit burglar. And I don't feel the need to keep the name here. So, Bluebell is going to be available on Grand. And momentarily. And one thing about deleting a character name, if you happen to be watching this stream and you wanted to grab any of these names, have them. I don't care. Catriona. I love this name. I have a fanfic character named Catriona, who is not a self-insert, I might add. She's the daughter of the self-insert. I don't really have a self-insert. I have more of a, this is a character that I wish I was. And I do put some of my own thoughts and problems into this character. But she's not actually me, the character. But this character is her granddaughter. Well, Catriona is her granddaughter. But yeah. Don't need it. So, getting rid of that character. Catriona. Let me double check. I believe I have that name on Peregrine. I do. Okay. So, all of these are going bye-bye so far. Stormlost, what are you doing, Kitten Gatton? Stormlost is being a butt. And delete. I was intending to do a lot more with more characters on multiple servers, and that just did not happen. I just did something dumb. Yeah. Okay. So, most of the cool names that I have, I'm going to keep on either Peregrine or Sting, because I have a lot of these names saved on Sting, specifically, and actually play them. So... not gonna worry about them. One thing you may notice in passing is I am holding the character names for Corey Olson, the Tolkien professor, at his request, because, you know, in case he ever wants to play on other servers, in case he doesn't play, like he might want to do a tour on some other server. I don't think he will, but whatever. I'm just holding those names for him until he wants them, and we hand them over. I don't care. But Celestial Seasonings, nice tea company. Don't need it. Not using it. Do I have it on Sting? I do. And I don't have it on Peregrine, but that's okay. So if I don't have it on Sting, then I'm going to get rid of it on any other server. So Celestial can go bye-bye. Crystal is an interesting one because that's kind of one of my special names. But things, I don't have that name on every single server. Like, I apparently don't have it on Sting. which is weird. I thought I had, but I don't. But I do have it on a character I occasionally log into on Peregrine. So I don't need it on Grand. So let's get rid of Crystal. So, that is, again, one of my special names. But Dire Wolf, that character can go bye-bye, because I have Dire Wolf on Sting. So, yep. Somebody can have it. We'll keep Crystal on Grand for a little while. Star Sapphire, again, one of my special ones. Storage Cube was the out-of-character name that I know that this is a bank alt. But as you can see, I've never logged the character in, so I don't need it. Apparently, I'm just going out of order now. I don't know. Fisticuffs. You know what? I'm gonna give that to somebody else. Let somebody else have it. Because I do have that name on both Sting and on Peregrine, so I'm okay with giving it up on Grunt, because I'm not using it, obviously. Hi, kitty. I have a kitty cat in the chair next to my table here, and she is being a champion biscuit maker. She's making so many biscuits right now. And she has a very loud purr. I don't know how you can not hear that cat. She is purring so damn loud. But she does this right before she curls up and goes to sleep. So she's a pretty kitty. All right, so Fisticuffs, you are now free for some other player to use. Gariant, a very lovely Welsh name. And the main reason I like Gariant is because of a Welsh Canadian American actor. I think he's an American citizen now, named Gariant Wynne Davies, who I first encountered him when he played the sidekick to the lead hero on the very last season of Airwolf, the Canadian season of Airwolf. And then he went on to be the lead in Forever Night, Toronto-based vampire cop story. Your concierges on through the that you wait, Rendis. Just wait. Just you wait. When I get to Mariadoc, it's going to be insane. You're going to laugh your ass off because I have VXP. I think I'm on like 13 or 14 or 15 now. I really need to do something about my EU VXP. Like, whoa. I need to start playing on Mary, I guess. I think that'll make Montaflair happy, though. Wait a minute. Let me rephrase that. I think that would make Montaflair very happy. Forget I said though, because it sounded like a negative. I'm like, no, I've known Montaflair for 30 freaking years. That's not a bad thing. Oh, Stormlost. She's all curled up. She's curled up. Oh, she wants to eat. She gets chin tickles. Gariant makes you think Tennyson, not more modern media. I know it's a traditional Welsh name, but beyond that, I just learned of the name because of the actor. And I do have Gariant on Peregrine and on Sting. I've actually met Gariant Wynne Davies, the real life actor. He played Polonius in a production of Hamlet in Stratford-on-Avon in Ontario. That my friend Lady Reason and I, we just, back in the day when you didn't need a passport to go to Canada, we just went to fucking Toronto because we could. It was actually fun. One of my favorite Canadian stories. We went there because she wanted to go to Canada, and she and I are both Weird Al fans, so I flew her from Kansas to Detroit so we could see Weird Al in the front row at a concert in the Detroit area, in this part of the hand, right? Okay, this is what you do. When you talk to somebody from Michigan, they're going to hold up, you ask them where they're from, and they're going to hold up their hand and point to the part of the hand that they live. And this is basically the Detroit area right here on the heel of your hand. Now, if they're in the Upper Peninsula, then they have to go like this. The marriage of Goriant and Enid is part of the Idols of the King. I have not read all of the Idols of the King. I did not know that. And I feel like a poor literature student for that. Then again, my degree's in history, not literature, so go figure. Anywho, I don't need Goriant on Grand. Goriant on Grand. Goriant can go bye-bye. And as you can see, a lot of these are characters that I just created on day 1 of the server just to grab their really cool names. And I logged them in so they would have a login date on them. So if somebody like suddenly tried to transfer to Grand, they couldn't steal my name. However, it's time to let people, find some cool names. And of course, Goriant being a Welsh name, it's more likely somebody in the EU might want to have a name that's similar to their own name. I don't know. So there we go. Gloom. I love the word Gloom as a character name. Am I ever going to play Gloom? No. So Gloom can go bye-bye. Alright. Grifflet, of course, I'm holding that for Corey. Kitty. Oh, Kitty is a nice name. But I have a character on that I transferred from, I believe it was Arkenstone. It was one of my Kirianas. But I liked her appearance, so I sent her to Sting. And when I bounced it, I already had a Kiriana, so I renamed her to Kitty. So Kitty can go bye-bye. Somebody else can get that name. Kiriana is always going to be mine. You can't have that name. I am Kiriana on every server. Loot. I'm actually going to give up loot. Somebody in the music community can use that. I'm not fussed about it. Narnian, of course, was Corey's original character in LotRO back in the day. Knight. That one is a special name. It's not one that I have anywhere else, though. I don't have the name Knight, so I'm keeping that one. That one's mine. You can't have it. Luminori! See, one job-related. I have 3 job-related names. There's Grifflet, there's Narnian, and I also have Wigand. And I'm holding them for Corey, that's all. It to be what it to be. So I'm keeping Knight, obviously keeping Phoenix. Phoenix is my main on Grand. And I love this appearance on her. I like her. So I'm going to have a character that I will be my main on every server. Because I do plan on doing like a series this summer, maybe like a server world tour. Sometime when nothing's going on. You're still a wholly separate and distinct person from Gorandis. You're stinker. Oh, I see how it goes. Got him. Alrighty. Well, it's good to see both of you. I know it's been a while since I've done a LotRO stream here on my personal. And it's obvious that I'm doing it because, hello, content creator program is open and I need content that isn't Dungeons & Dragons Online. And I will be noting that in my application that one of the reasons why I don't have a lot of LotRO content recently is because of the DDO event that's going to be concluding this weekend. I'll be so glad to be done grinding Grim and Barrett. Which is the quest we've been grinding to get our loots completed. And I only have 200, just shy of 250 durability left on the summer horse loot. So I can get the white unicorn with the beige colored tack. That's going to happen. So this character is staying. She's not going anywhere. Okay, screen above. Stop doing that. Alright, that being said, Polaris. Again, I played this character. Polaris is the perfect Bjorning name, isn't it? Is it not? However, She's only level 6. Let me go see if she has anything worthwhile. I'm going to release the name because I have Ursa over on Sting. Ursa's an actually even better Bjorning name simply because Ursa Major, the entire fucking constellation, is in the evening sky in Lord of the Rings Online. Not just the Big Dipper, but the whole constellation. It's actually, readily visible if you're in like Fordon and you're down south and the way the sky works up there. Oh my god, look at all this shit going on. Okay, hold please. All right. I don't see anything here of any particular value. Let me take a look in my shared storage.
Greetings.
Oh, my shared storage is full. But my personal storage tiebreakers. I'm looking to see if there's anything special here that I'm looking at. This is what I have to do when I... Okay. And I have no money on this character. No nada. Okay. Polaris can go bye-bye. And somebody else on Garand can grab that name. If either you want it. Here you go. Here's your opportunity. Oh. So there's going to be some surprise people, I think. Creating characters on Garand. Be like, holy shit, that name's available? And it'll be like, yeah. Alright. So Polaris can go bye-bye. I keep going over here to delete stuff, and I'm like, what? There's no delete button over here. It is in DDO, the delete button's on the right-hand side. Delete character. Now, I thought this was such a great name grab as well, but I'm like, eh. Okay, so, okay, Phoenix. Quicksilver. You can't have Quicksilver. Mine. Raspberry. I like blueberries better than raspberries, so some hobbit can have this name. Sapphire can't have it. Schooner. Oh. Schooner. I have the name on Sting. I don't have it on Peregrine. Somebody beat me to it on Peregrine. Fucker. But I haven't even logged in the character, so Schooner can go bye-bye. Schooner is my favorite kind of ship, by the way. The Catriona character, the fanfic character named Catriona, she's the sea captain. She's not a pirate. Honestly, she's not a pirate. Her dad is like, Navy, sort of? Sort of. It's a whole thing. Time Lords are involved. Let's just say her dad's a Time Lord. And Stargates are involved. And she's the captain of a schooner that she and Jack O'Neill kind of won in a poker game. Long story. And so he doesn't know anything about sailing a ship, so... And she does, so... Okay, Silver can't have it. Silver Moon! World of Warcraft reference, and I have a Silver Moon on Sting. So, Silver Moon can go bye-bye. Alright, Star Phoenix. Obviously a character I play because she's in the Haunted Burrow. Starfire. Thief. Ooh. You're still happy you kept your Anne Bonnie from your little... Yeah, there you go. And I love that little Grogu emote. Who's that? Satake Gollum. Oh, it's a Gollum. I thought it was Grogu for a second. I'm like, wait, what? Okay. Thief is a special name for me because of Thief Kitty. But... I have a Thief on Sting. I have Thief on Sting. So... And Thief is actually a Stout Axe Burglar there for some reason. I don't know. So, Thief can go bye-bye here on ground. Trout. Again, fun name. Not using it. I can at least get a black cat pet. I've done that. Yeah, yes, I have a few of those. Wagon okay, Wagon is staying because Wagon is my in-character bank alt name. That's the one that I know is my main one, so Wagon can stay. Wedge, that's a joke. Wedge Antilles. And yes, you know, the default burglar face kind of does, the hair kind of does look like Wedge Antilles. But going bye-bye. Winter. I do not have Winter on Sting or on Peregrine. Yeah, I'm keeping Winter because I don't have Winter anywhere else. Winterberry, that's a nice hobbit name that can go out into the wild. I used to have a Winter on Treebeard. And somebody kept mailing me shit. Because apparently they have a character with a similar name. And I kept sending their shit back. Wedge's hair looks like Han Solo's in the first action figure? Yeah. Okay, so now we have gotten like half of the names on Garand to go bye-bye. And then we're going to switch over to Sting next. We're going to do a little housekeeping on Sting as well because I have some names there that, okay, that need to go bye-bye. Alright, make that go bye-bye. Delete that row. Go Fisticuff, Goriant, Gloom, Grifflet. This is staying. Kitty is going bye-bye. Loot went bye-bye. Keeping Knight got rid of Polaris. Raspberry goes bye-bye. Sapphire Schooner went bye-bye. Got rid of Silver Moon. I had Star Song? When did I have Star Song on Grand? Alright. So, if you didn't know, Chance Thomas is shutting down his company for real. And has been offering people like 50% off until the end of the month on like a whole pile of shit. Thurindos! Hello to Australia. I was operating on Australian time last weekend. Because we sent Professor Corey to Canberra. And I said that right. Am I going to make a video or article about the content creator program? No, I'm going to apply for it because I'm going to. Even though, to be fair, I haven't been doing a lot of LotRO content lately on this channel because I've been steadily churning out my LotRO content on the official channel. However, I've been streaming LotRO on the official channel for 10 fucking years. So, yes, actually probably either 10 years or closer to. I'll have to go find my first episode. I don't know when it was. Elda might be able to help me figure that out. Anywho. One of the main reasons why I wasn't streaming a lot of LotRO is because the other game, DDO, was doing a special limited time event, and I was hard focusing on that for a while. And now that event's going to be over this weekend. Man, DDO is friendly, even if it doesn't add hours. It adds views. I mean, the DDO content creators are actually a little bit more tight-knit and more collaborative with each other than the LotRO people are. Like, you get one or two LotRO people collaborating with each other, and then you get a couple of clout chasers. And I'm sure they're going to apply. But in general, it's a different vibe. The LotRO content creators typically are on their own, right? Or if they collaborate, they're collaborating up. Trying to get, their channel more views by collaborating with, bigger streamers than they are. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. My friend Devilore, who used to work at Blizzard, he frequently streams with Salute. And Salute has like a couple hundred more viewers than Lore does on any given night. But they raid each other all the time. So it's more of a true partnership, even though their numbers don't really reflect it. But I always want the right collaborator, right? I want to. One of the problems I tend to have is I like to play the game a certain way, and there's very few people who like to play the game the same way that I do. He says the questing fellowship collabs. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it really is hard. Unless you already have that, collaborative, like you guys hang out outside of the game, right? And you're friends outside of the game or whatever. It's a lot easier to collaborate in that sort of fashion rather than, oh, I'm a streamer, you're a streamer, we should stream together. And you have more numbers than I have. And it always feels like you're sponging off of somebody, right? And it always makes me very creeped out, especially since one of the people I moderate for is a rather well-known World of Warcraft and Marvel Rivals and various other video game voice actors, right? He's a well-known voice actor. And I see his fans rolling into his streams and trying to get him to acknowledge their channels. They do self-promotions in his channel or try to. Me and his other mod basically shut that shit down. Yeah, numbers and networking is always awkward. I'm very much an awkward person when it comes to hanging. I can be at BlizzCon, for example, a convention. I'll even put it in LotRO terms. I can go to the LotRO player meetup at PAX East, and this past one, I didn't talk to hardly any of the devs. I mean, I know them all. Orion gave me shit about the fact I know who you are. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever, Orion. He's good people. Hung out. I actually ran into Scenario on the show floor at PAX. He's like, "Hey, Matt, how you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, hi." And I was like, "Wow, I didn't realize I was taller than Scenario." It was so weird. Or about the same height. I'm like, I thought he was taller. That's because anytime I ever had the privilege of going to the office, back when they still had an office, they were all sitting at their desks, so I didn't know how tall they freaking were. Anyhow, we are done with Grand. So I'm going to start building up these characters at some point. I'm not going to re-roll them on stream because I'm not that kind of idiot. So let's restart and let's see if the game client crashes when I try to go to Sting, as it usually does. Okay, remember my password. Type. Sting! Oh, the client didn't crash this time. Half the time when I go from Grand and then I hop over to Sting, for some reason the client crashes completely out. But hey, since I mentioned PAX East, I will be at PAX East again this year, and I am aware that they are already planning what their event is going to be. This year, I'll be honest, I would expect them to be more DDO focused at PAX East this year, simply because it is DDO's 20th anniversary coming up next month in February. 20 years of Dungeons & Dragons Online, that's a fucking milestone. And I'd be lying to you if I told you that I don't know anything about what they're doing. I have a couple of ideas. I have a couple of ideas. I have a couple of suppositions, but it ain't gonna be... Oh. Well, I can't help with that. Alright. So I got an email for another game. It's like, hey, we're doing this focus thing on, if you get a free mount if you show up on our PTR and it's on Friday, like tomorrow, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna be on LotRO stream then, so sorry. You're looking to get your VIP back for Angmar server by Easter holidays? Hell yeah. I honestly have kind of given up on the 2 legendary worlds. I never played on Mordor. I played on Angmar until I stalled in the Siege of Mirkwood because I hate that expansion. I'm not saying the story in Siege of Mirkwood is bad. It's a good story. I just don't like what happens in the story. Okay. Here we are on Sting-a-ling-a-ling. And as I mentioned, I have Alanon here. I'm not giving that Alanon up. Bluebell. I'm actually kind of considering it. Luanori! Luanori, you play a dwarf, don't you? Okay, so far, none of these names are ones I want to give up. Blueberry. I'm so happy to get Blueberry. It's not that they're dreary environments, Thurindos. I don't mind the environments, especially since you can always go to Lorien, or whatever. But yeah. And I get you, Glorindus. It's like, I don't like the something pops out at you. I mean, I got my one character that I played there on Angmar to level 20 without dying. I ran on the base difficulty, so I didn't run Fearless or whatever. But I was over it after a while. Yeah. And there wasn't anything in the rewards that I necessarily wanted on the other servers. Anywho, Bonfire was a transfer from another character, and yes, she's intending to look like an elven version of Jean Grey as the Dark Phoenix. That's intentional. And she's a fire rune keeper. She looks cranky. Cat is going to be used. I have a plan for Cat. Here's my other cat, Triona. I already made her as a mariner, looking as close to the fanfic character as possible. You love Red Runekeeper, Burnination. I like Yellow Yellow Runekeeper because you can run and gun and Zorch. You like getting all the cloaks while you're leveling, but that's a legendary thing. Yeah, I already have all of them. I have them from the previous legendary world, so I don't really need them. Celestial seasonings. I'm going to compare it to Peregrine. I don't have Celestial on Peregrine. So we're keeping Celestial. Constellation can go away. Here's our storage cube. It can also go away. See, there's my Bjorning. There's my Bjorning. Who is... Okay. I have a special project on Sting that I'm going to be getting back to once I get done with the Kingdoms Harad main story on my main character over on Peregrine. Is I'm going to get back to doing these characters to... They're all set to Fearless. So difficulty +3 to get the titles. And they have to get to level 20 without dying. I've already had to reroll one of them. Narnia and Squatting Mage Giggle. Well, see, Thurindos, holding on to Corey's names on servers other than Peregrine at his request. That, honestly, Guarindus, that's the only thing I want to get out of the Wraith thing. I do want to kill all 9 ring wraiths to get the account-wide titles. I do have the one. I have killed the Grim Southern. Wasn't it the first one? Yeah. So I got the whatever the Dawn title. Okay. Again, this is the last server I have Trout on. But I'm not using it, so Trout can go bye-bye. I mean, it's cute for a minute, but then Wedge, we're keeping this Wedge. This is our last Wedge. I made him a Mariner. I made him specifically with the darker hair to look like Dennis Lawson. Made his eyes pretty much the same color. That was reasons. I'm keeping the name Wagon as a bank alt name because Wagon is spelled the correct way. I'm gonna get rid of Tyrion. Yes, okay, if you didn't know, I have a meme that I do, a thing that I do on every MMO I play, as I make a male human. Except on one server in DDO, I made an ASMR because it worked better with the Paladin class. But I make them a Paladin, if there's a Paladin class, or the closest thing to a Paladin, which in LotRO terms is Captain. I made him look like Tyrion Fordring from World of Warcraft, except I have a Tyrion that I brought over from another server. Though, wait a minute, why does his face look like he got clawed by something? I might need to take him to the barber shop. Yeah, I think I need to take him to the barber shop. But I don't need this one anymore. I think the only reason I kept him because for some reason he had this blue outfit. And I don't know why. Oh, the one time your gang tried to ring wraith, it bugged out and ran home to daddy. That sucks. I think this is the only reason I kept this. You know what? Screenshot it, leave it for later. I don't care. He can go bye-bye. Except, let me log in. I want to see. I think I might have something on that character that was a reason I was keeping it. I don't have any notes on my spreadsheet about it, but there must be a reason why I kept this character. Waiting for it. Waiting for it. Ding. Okay, what do we got? What have we got in here that means I'm keeping this character? Speaking of all the cloaks that you get for doing the, anything. German writing. I don't see anything unusual here. I do see people promoting, doing featured instances in World Chat, though. So I don't see any reason why I would keep this character. I mean, I'm level 1, so I'm in the starting version of... See, the Mad Badger has not yet burned. Man, I miss having to go into the Mad Badger for quests. Captain Brackenbrook used to be in there. If you didn't know. He didn't stand out here. So, yeah. No reason to keep this character. Do I have any money on this character? Nope. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, well, Tyrion with 2 N's can go bye-bye. And fun fact, you cannot create a character with the name of Tyrion because it's a place name in Valinor. Tyrion upon tuna, and every cat in the house is like, huh? Did you say tuna? Speaking of cats, I'm gonna wake her up. She's like, why did you wake me up? Go back down. Put it back in her pot. She's so big now. I know. See, July to August, August, September, November, November, December, January. So she's 6 months old now. All right, Tyrion with 2 ends can go bye-bye. Okay, Winterberry can also go bye-bye. Winterstorm is staying around. She's a runekeeper that I brought over from a different server. Tyrion Thief is actually part of our little onesie. I don't know why music isn't playing. Star Sapphire is a favorite name. Stargazer, I was like, okay, yeah, but you know what? I'm not attached to the name anymore. This Silver Moon is staying because she's part of my project, my Fearless project. 1 character of every class to get to level whatever. To be able to get the titles, Apprentice of whatever and Disciple of whatever. So apparently I'm leveling up 2 burglars. Silver Dusk. That character can go bye-bye. Star Sapphire again, keeping Silver Bow. So right now I just have Star Phoenix, Thief, and Ursa and Fisticuffs to get to level 20 without dying. One name you're fond of is Wisteria Doc, your hobbit brawler tied to your siblings Bjorning. Nice. That's super good. Okay, Silver Shillelagh Shenanigans. I got such good names on this server. I have Schooner, and I am going to use Schooner, but not tonight. And Sea Shanty. I'm going to make some Mariners for a little bit of fun shenanigans there. Sapphire, Master Robinson. Yep, I made him look like the character from Dragon Riders of Pern, but honestly, I don't like the idea of even a minstrel being out in Master Robinson wouldn't want to be out in combat all the time, so he's going to... I'm going to retire Master Robinson. Okay, let's keep going. We're going backwards this time for some reason. Pity the... Okay, this isn't in... Wait, hold on. Do I have Pity over on Peregrine? I do. Okay. So we know they're going to attempt to do the April Fool's chicken run thing again, where you have to take a chicken from wherever you spawn in the Yettenmoors to get it to Glenreg, and then you get the Fool as a suffix title. And so I have a character named Pity over on Peregrine, who will then get the Fool. And now that we've got the new human appearances, you can actually make him a black man without having to be a Bjorni. So this is the first time I did this. This character came from Crick Hollow. And was a Bjorning, because that's the only race at the time that you could make essentially a black person. And yes, Pity does have the title. I'll show you. I will show you. And of course, you don't have the jewelry that Mr. T would wear, but sometimes I play a long game when it comes to jokes like this. The game would not accept Tar Narnian because it doesn't accept any kind of diacritics or anything else in terms of like the dash. It wouldn't accept the dash. Let's get this out of the way. See, Pity the Fool. I don't know why I'm standing in the fountain. But that's the joke we're going with. But pity over on Peregrine is just going to be pity. And then it's going to be comma the fool. It's going to be amazing. No, actually, no. Here's how it's going to work. Is I'm going to be pity. And then I'm going to get that character to level 15. And then it'll be pity space the comma fool. It's going to be so much better. So I don't need to keep this one, but I'm going to hang on to it for a little while. I'm tickling the kitty's tummy because it's not a trap. It's not a trap. Phoenix 1, I'm keeping her even with the -1. I'm not going to give her a new name. This character came from one of the only characters I had left on a 2015 era server. So I brought her over here. And there's a reason why I'm keeping her. She has something in her inventory that is no longer available. You can't get it anymore. She has the World Consolidation gift box. And she's got a bundle of the Giver. And everything else here is all new. Kevin! But yeah. I'm not opening the box. I'm not opening this box because I know it's an amount. Oh man, amount? But yeah, this character came from, I think, was it Silverlode? I don't remember. No, it wasn't Silverlode. But it was one of the it might have been like Rittermark or something. And yeah. Yep. The problem is I can't trade it. It's bound to this character, so can't do anything with it. And I'm not going to play yet another captain. How was the snow? The snow was about a foot and a half deep. And I have only shoveled a minuscule amount that needs to be shoveled. I'm probably going to spend some time on Saturday working on that. Or I'll spend some time tomorrow before LotRO stream. And then I'll bitch through all of LotRO stream about how my back hurts. That's probably going to happen. Speaking of LotRO stream tomorrow, I will be on at 1 o'clock-ish. If Cordoban streams, which these days, God only knows if he's going to stream or not. His show's no longer a regular stream, apparently. Why is Cord not streaming anymore? Because he's got 2 content creator programs to run. And he's got all these social media things to do. And he's got all this other shit to do. I think they're trying to diversify their stream stuff. And I think maybe they just kind of want to have it be pre-recorded news stuff. That way it comes off less off the cuff. I don't know. You have to ask them. Okay, so Night Song. I grabbed this name because Night Song is one of my favorite songs in World of Warcraft, written by Mr. Neil Acree, who is a good acquaintance of mine. I actually first met him in Ireland when he was conducting at a concert known as the Ireland Digital something or other, run by Emer Noon and her hubby Craig Garfinkel. It was so nice interacting with him on stream, or at least watch him interacting in your case. Yeah, that's fair enough. But, you know, there's other people who probably went bitching to Severlin about it or something. I don't know. Anyhow, Night Song. You can go bye-bye. Because we're never going to use her. Grab the name because in honor of the piece of music, which is very near and dear to my heart, but I'm not going to play the character, so we're not going to hang on to the name. Nathaniel, also a name that I have a love for multiple reasons, but again, not a name I really feel the need to keep. So I'm not going to use it. I don't even have a Nathaniel over on Peregrine, do I? No, I do not. But again, I'm not really fussed about it. Moonsilver. I have a Worgen Rogue on my main Warcraft server called Moonsilver. But again, it's a nice elfy name, but I'm not using it. So it can go bye-bye. I saw another one. It's going to go bye-bye. Loot. We're getting rid of our loots in more ways than one. I'm going to be so glad when I'm not having to deal with the fucking loots in DDO starting next week. Oh, it's going to be so good. I'm going to actually feel like I can play any content in the game again. I'm going to actually start up my Let the Dice Decide series on the DDO side to where I can roll on camera using the in-game roll D whatever. That way everybody can see it's fair and square. This is what I rolled, and that's the character I'm playing. We're going to do that. Because I was really enjoying it. That whole process. And then they did the, oh, hey, we've got this 3-month event going. Fuck. But let's be honest about Cord. He's got way too much shit to do. So Kitty, I told you I had a kitty. This is the kitty I brought over from Arkenstone. And for some reason, I don't know why, I just liked this wintry outfit. And I didn't want to give up this character, so I brought her over. Ithilris is the name of a D&D character. Actually, it was the name of the One Ring. I played the first edition of the One Ring tabletop RPG with Cordovan, actually. It was his idea. He wanted to play it. And he wanted to play with Corey, but Corey was busy, so Corey introduced me to Richard Rowland, who was at the time a German philology student at Signum University, who was an accomplished dungeon master. And so it was me, Cord, and like 3 other people from the Signum community playing the One Ring tabletop, the original edition from Cubicle 7. We did like a 6 episode campaign. My character helped save everybody's bacon at the end, I'm just saying. And ironically, Cord he played a Bjorning, and he actually got into it. He was doing like a gruff voice, you know, because he could do that a little bit of the basic, but he sounded like doing a little bit of growling in his voice when he was speaking as his character. It was great. But he chose the name of his Bjorning character was exactly the name of Frederick the Elder. So it was like Frederick without the elder from, you know, Oscar Ruth. I'm like, Cherry, come on. But it was a lot of fun because our DM, being a German philologist who can basically just quote Anglo-Saxon sagas, just actually quote them, recite them from memory. I'm like, what the fuck? And so listening to him as a DM, this other guy, I was like, holy crap. I would agree with you, Monoflare. But I also see the value in putting out, you know, shorter news articles that are like, this is just the news, you know, your 10 minutes of whatever. And then if people have questions, they can drop them in the comments, or they can go on the forums or jump in Discord and ask those questions. And then maybe they can do like some kind of follow-up. I don't know if they're going to do that, but I also see the value of having prepared answers, because sometimes people catch them off guard. Let's be honest. And I think there's a few times, and again, this is not a criticism of Cord, but just the nature of a live stream where you're answering questions without preparation. And if you're reading and chat's going so quickly, and if you read a question and you're not actually focused on that question, and you read it a few times before you start answering, then you go off on a different path, and people are like, no, I was actually asking about this, and then 5 minutes later, then we're like, you know, that kind of looked embarrassing. So I can understand why they would want to try to get you know, a little more polished output there. But Ithyrus, I don't need to keep this character name. I do have it as a name for my primary hunter over on Peregrine, so don't need that name. Alrighty. All right. And let's update the spreadsheet. Okay, where are we? We're going backwards. Okay. Let's actually start at the top. Let's get back to the top. Bonfire Cat I'm keeping because I have a plan for Cat. Catriona, I made her, so we're definitely playing her at some point. Celestial, this is the only one that I have Celestial on. I mean, I really like the name. I'll hold on to it for a little bit. Dire and Dire Wolf, I have plans for these two. We're keeping these two. I'm going to do something with them. Fisticuffs, this is the re-rolled brawler, because remember, the original brawler died before hitting level 20. We go again. Flute. Alright, we're going to give up Flute. And I don't know why the music isn't playing. I don't honestly care. My headphones will turn off in a minute. Again, Gariant, I have it over on Peregrine. Okay. Crimson Dire, Direwolf, Fisticuffs, Gloaming. I love Gloaming, but I have it as a name on Peregrine. So we're going to delete this. Gloaming is like one of my favorite times of day. Dire Wolf is a Grateful Dead song, is one of the many GRM homages to that band. Nice. All right. Also, Weirwood is Bob Weir. The Dead were not my band, but I know they were your band. They were your S-Special band. Okay, Gloom. Again, Gloom is a wonderful word. It's not a character I'm going to play. So, Gloom can go to the wilds. Let's go. Harper. Again, Harper is one that I really wanted to play. A minstrel named Harper. Emily. Okay. Okay, Harper is a name. Oh man, I really want to keep that one. Okay, Hawk. I don't know why I grabbed it, but I grabbed it, but I'm not gonna use it. So Hawk goes into the wild. Have fun. Grab it. Indigo. You can't have this name because, okay, if you don't know, I'm gonna show you. This is important. Because I got the name Indigo on Sting for the... I had to commit to the bit, and I committed to the bit, and I'll show you what happened. It's the most glorious thing. I can't wait till this character gets into the level 40 range, and she's just going to hang out and not here. And yes, you don't get evicted from the Haunted Burrow. You just don't have the chest to loot. The NPCs aren't here. But when I grab the name Indigo, You know what I was going to do with it, and I totally did. And I would also like to point out, this is a level 22 character. And she's got the birthday girl title. You know what that means, chat? I took her to Northern Mirkwood. And went down to the Thoughts of Bilbo near Logland. And then rode up to Lake Town. And then rode all the way to Felgoth. No. Birthday Girl requires you to go into 105 lands. No, 115 lands. On a level 22. How did I not die? The mobs are spaced enough far away that you can ride. As long as you don't get too close, they'll start chasing you. But by the time you're racing past and they're like here, by the time they start running to you, you're already gone. As long as you don't stop and you don't get dismounted, it helps if you have journeyman riding. And you don't have the orc right outside the gates of Logland. Not right there. You're fine. You have a very critical role name on Sting. Mollymock, Tea Leaf, the Undying. Hell yeah, from the kin. Long may he ride. There you go. But yeah, I committed to the bit, and I'm insufferably pleased about this character. And yes, she is the kin leader for the Indigo Plant kinship. So I need to get everybody else in the in the band on the server, but it is what it is. I do have the Indigo Plant kin name on all of the servers, so we're good there. The most connection that I have to Critical Role, I have a couple of small Critical Role connections. My friend, we haven't talked in a while, but I still consider him a friend. He may not necessarily consider me a friend, more like an acquaintance. Darren DePaul has been on Critical Role a couple of times as Sprig. And the #1 most viewed video on my channel is a performance of Laura Bailey as Jaina Proudmoore singing the Warbringer song, Daughter of the Sea, at BlizzCon one year. And I mentioned Neil Acree before. He was standing next to me when I shot that video, by the way. And he's the one who told me that I really needed to go to that panel because there was something special that was going to happen. I kind of guessed what it was. And I was going to go to the panel anyway because I love the voice actor panel. Because Andrea Toyas, who is one of my favorite Blizzard people ever, is the one who always does those every year. And she's such a wonderful person. And I posted it thinking Blizzard was going to send me a takedown order, a cease and desist, takedown, whatever. And somehow the critters found it. And then she reposted it. Without crediting me, of course. But the critters got a hold of it. Laura saw it. Laura retweeted it. And off it went. Was Noshir Dalal on Critical or was it a different actual play? I don't know. Okay, Kitty Kiriana. Okay, I think we're actually caught up. We have cleared everything that I'm going to clear from Sting. So let me clean up the Sting spreadsheet. And then we'll hop over to, I don't know, Glamdring or something. So we got rid of Constellation. Kept Crimson, kept Direwolf. We got rid of Flute. We got rid of Goriant and Goriant. Gloaming, Loot. We kept Harper. Come on. Stop it. Alright. We got rid of those three. Yeah, me and my Excel. Well, it's not even Excel. It's spreadsheet. Alright. We got rid of Hawk. Tua. Got rid of Ithilris. Kept Kitty, Kiriana. Got rid of Loot. Moonsilver and Nathaniel. Oh, we also got rid of Night Song. Alright, pity that Quicksilver. Got rid of Robinton. I don't feel bad about getting rid of Robin. I always felt weird about having Robinton as a character in this game. We got rid of Silver Dusk. I got rid of Stargazer. We got rid of Storage Cube. Got rid of Tyrion with 2 N's. Got rid of Trout. Kept Wedge. Got rid of Winterberry, though. Oops. Did not want to do that. Delete. Alright. So that's the Sting Cruise cleared out. Your absolute favorite Critical Role character of all time is Spurt the Kobold. I think people want kobolds to be the next playable race in DDO. That would be kind of fun. Original silly little guy, if you will, made to be a single episode meme character, became beloved. Yeah, that's kind of what happens. Alright, we said Stingrond. You know, I said I should show how silly Mariadoc is with all of my bank alts. Let's show you this shit. This is ridiculous. You'll be like, what the fuck, Druid? So let's go to Mary. Pardon me. Let's go to Mariadoc. It's a storm lost. You have boogers in your eye. Not really, not boogers in her eye, but just a little bit of cruft. Just a little bit of cruft. She's such a fuzzy butt. She is such a floof. She's a pretty floof. She's a very pretty floof. Alright, so here we are. Here we are on this server. Okay, so I do need to actually look at bits and bobs here. Because I have 2 of them, I suspect I actually have crap on them. So let's go take a look and see if they have crap on them. Because if they do, I'm not going to delete them. But I do need to play on Mary a lot more because I really need to spend a lot of these VXP that I have stored up. Because all of my EU VXP went to... And the very first thing I see in World Chat is somebody asking, why are you smelling his butt? Oh, that's why. And one of the most terrible people on the planet replies, I'm hungry. So, that's why. Okay, so Bits and Bobs has a pile of VXP. That would explain it. And
Good
look
day.
how full my shared storage is. All that VXP. And my personal storage full of VXP. So I'm guessing Bits and Bobs -1 also has piles of VXP in their inventory. You feel like you're taking crazy pills? Lunori, let me show you the crazy pills. Let me show you the crazy pills. 8 pages of characters. Okay, so far, all characters, right? Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. 4 storage cubes. Virtue. Ooh, Virtue's a nice name. Virtues 1. Virtuosity. Virtuous. VSP 8. 11s. Yeah, 11s, huh? 5, 4, 9, 1, 7, 6, 10, 13, 3, 12 Twinkle Toes, because I'm that smartass. So 13, maybe the highest we went. Did we go 14? Yep, 13. That's 13 that I counted plus one. Hold on, plus 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I have a few pots of EXP lying around. And then I have 6 wagons. Is she in the old Lolly's market and the new Lolly's market? Let's find out. I told you it's crazy town over here. My Mary... This is like... I wanted to concentrate all of my... Oh, I'm in the old Lolly's market. And then they get bounced out to Mossword. That's actually kind of funny. Alright, let's get back to Breetown. Mossword really needs to have a bank or something, but Mossword is basically there for you to leave.
How can I be of service?
Let's go to Westbury. Yeah. Because one thing I would like to point out is this isn't just the VXP from Grand and Orcrist filtered into Mary. This is the VXP that I'd built up for years. Because I never used it on the EU side, because I always played NA. Never leveled up a character on EU side. Let me in. Let me in. There we go. We'll put me in the bank. So I'm in the bank. Alright. So let's go look at the RP sort of characters that we can get rid of. Again, Crystal. I'm going to hang on to that name. But I'm going to get rid of Dire because I have Dire. Unless I wanted to do a Dire Wolf / Dire Bear character on this server. But I was going to do one on Sting anyway, so. Oh, I made this one as a character, so yeah, we're keeping him. We're keeping him. Fisticuffs obviously been playing. At least a little bit, so we'll keep him. Flute was actually my longtime character over on Laurelin, I think. One I used to go to concerts with. Again, a Goriant that we're not going to use, so Goriant can go bye-bye. I don't know about Lute, though. Lute seems like one I might have actually played. Wait. You'll die for any pun, but you think it would be great if Dire were a Dire? Ah! That'd be fun. Dire Bear the Dire? That would be cool. Hi, Stormlost. Stormlost is so cute. She's such a cute kitty cat. Okay, Lute, what are you doing here? Okay, you have nothing as special in your inventory.
What do you need?
Nothing as special in your personal storage. And you don't have any money. And I might want to start using my ancient script, which means I have to get a character to level 45 or higher on Mary, so we should do that. Shouldn't be hard with a lore master main. Shouldn't be hard at all. Should be fun. But yeah, this character serves no purpose. I don't need her for any reason whatsoever. Yep, I'll let somebody else have the name. And I'm sure on Mary, Addox, somebody's going to grab it quickly. So we'll do that. Hold on. Am I in a kinship? No. So I'm not going to mess up a kinship by killing a character off. Yummy! You come here bearing ice creams from Saskatchewan. Did you pour maple syrup on it for me? See, Yummy, you can come here in safety because there's no Yummy Slammy here. And why the fuck isn't Lore streaming? It's 9:30 and it's Thursday night. What the hell? Let me go check Lore's channel. What? Why are you not streaming? Oh, wait a minute. Let me go look at his announcements. Was he not going to stream tonight? Oh, he was going to be doing... Isn't it the... Wait, that was last week's message. I don't know. I don't know what Laura's up to. I don't think Laura knows what Laura's up to. It's McFlurries. Ooh, McFlurries are tasty. Alright, loot is going into the wild. Anybody else on Mary can have loot. Moonlight, I'm keeping. You can't have Moonlight as a name. Man, look how gorgeous this character is. This Mariner... Oh my god. You cannot have her. My residence in the Midwest is approximating Canada right now. It's got a foot of snow and it's fucking cold. Quicksilver can't have. Other Quicksilver still can't have. I probably should get rid of one of these two, but I'm not going to deal with that right now. Oh, he did say the Swabby had a vet appointment today. That would explain it. Sapphires? I didn't have Sapphire the name, but I might hang on to this for a while. Silver can't have stacks. This is what I do whenever I overflow my inventory. Is I do a character that can hold... Well, this one, she does what it says on the tin. Check this out. This will be fun. Hi. All the things that stack in shared storage.
Hello there.
My shared storage here on Mary used to be like insane, like 700 some odd items. I just grab all of that stuff and just pull that out. By the way, look at that. I got the little horse pet. No, wait, that's the horse pet. But yeah, I'd grab like all the stacks of shit and just pull them out. Let them all stack up in here. I need to clean out these crafting mats. There's the boosts. Yeah. But mostly it's VXP coming out my ears. The horse pet's going to be lit as a housing decoration. Nice. By the way, I should point out that World of Warcraft has copied a few ideas that have been used for years in LotRO. One of them is now they're doing outfit slots in their transmog system. So, like we have, you go into the wardrobe you go into your character thing, and then you've got your slots here, blah, 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 blah. WoW is doing these too, only you have to unlock slots with in-game gold, not, Mithril coin. They don't have Mithril coin because they're not a free-to-play game. They're all paid $15 a month. You get whatever. You get the whole game. But they're not doing a lot. There's a lot of features in their transmog system that LotRO has. Like, there's a lot of features they don't have in their transmog that we have. Dyeing your items. You can't do that in WoW. Being able to mog heavy armor onto light armor characters. All of this stuff is either based on... There's a few pieces that are agnostic. Strictly cosmetic. And they're flagged as cosmetic. But heavy armor is heavy armor. It can only be worn by heavy armor users. Or it might be class coded. Like, oh, only paladins can wear this item. So only a paladin can transmog it. So, you're currently playing Digital House by playing Sims and just building lots. Also 14 and Guild Wars 2. Fun. Cool times. I'm still pissed as hell at Blizzard because I bought the collector's edition. They haven't shipped them yet, of course. And so all of us folks who wanted to play housing can't until we get our boxes. So they're doing these big, well-advertised housing contests. And anybody who bought a CE but chose not to also purchase a second copy of the game, which cannot be refunded in real money, but can only be refunded in Blizzard balance, which you can only use in their digital store and not even in their gear store, because the gear store is separate. I have rants about that bullshit. So the other thing they're stealing from, or copying from LotRO, is the idea of being able to put your pets and your mounts down in your yard. And of course, being Blizzard and having way more people on their team than LotRO has, their pets and their mounts will probably be able to wander around. So it's a whole ass thing, and it do be what it do be. Okay, Source Cube, Virtues. So basically, most of my characters here on Mary are storage alts. The vast majority of my characters on Mary are storage alts. But Mary is done. Okay, so spreadsheet time. Let's go back to the spreadsheet. Alright, let's go to Mary ad hoc. So we didn't get rid of anything except Gare. And loot. And I kept sapphires, even though I didn't really, whatever. But yeah, everybody else has a purpose. Okay. Next server. Alright. Let's go to Glamdring. Because there's a few names I can get rid of on Glamdring. Tomorrow, by the way, again, I'll be on LotRO stream. And I will be on either after when basically when Corey normally would be streaming. He's not streaming tomorrow because he's going out for the weekend with his missus. With the other Dr. Olson. Corey's missus is also, she's a pediatrician. She has her own, she's got the MD doctor sort of thing going on. And sometimes they go out for the weekend because she's at a conference, a medical conference. So Corey gets a lot of writing done while she's doing her thing. They have a very harmonious relationship. I actually met his missus at one PAX East, and their younger son Matthias. I haven't met their older son, whose name I'm blanking on right now, which is really bad. But Matthias is the one I've ever interacted with the most, because I used to keep an eye on his Twitch chat when he streamed on the Signum channel as the rambunctious I remember when Corey's kid was still a kid and streaming Pokemon on the Signum U channel. That was fun back in the day. Okay, so most of my Crick Hollow alts that never, most of my Crick Hollow alts are the ones I made to fill up and keep the names when I took the original versions of these characters over to Landreval and then took them to Peregrine. So these replacement Crick Hollow people all went to Glamdring. When I decided that I was going to Glamdring instead of going, or that I was going to Peregrine instead of Glamdring. Almost out of soda. We're only an hour and a half into the stream. I'm already out of soda. That's good. I've got a full tall glass thing here. It's not icy cold, but it's not lukewarm. So Alanona was always my lore master. that, oh, I couldn't get the name Alanon, so I'll make a lore master, make a female version of the character. And never really played her. So Bits and Bobs can go bye-bye, because as you see, I've never logged her in. So Bits and Bobs can go bye-bye. It's a cute name for a hobbit, but you're out of your Diet Pepsi. Need to go get more. Yeah. Bluebell. Let me take a look at Bluebell, because I don't think this character actually has anything worthwhile on her. I'm going to get rid of her if so. And I do plan on getting rid of some of my characters on Peregrine, I think. Except many of my characters wind up being storage alts. Oh, you're in the starting instance. And your bags is full. I don't see anything special in your inventory. You're definitely not a storage alt. So Bluebell -1 can go bye-bye. Hold on. Let's see, do I have any mail? No. Glamdring is now basically not even a server that I play on. I'll be honest, half the reason I don't play on Glam is because it became the sweaty server, and because it became the NA sweaty server, it has more performance issues than Peregrine does, even when winter stock is going on or weather stock is going on. So let's delete Bluebell 1. Alright, and let's go Catriona can go bye-bye. We're keeping Crystal, as always. Gariant can go bye-bye. Ithilrin... surprisingly, Ithilrin is actually a girl. You find World Chat on Glamdring too toxic for your palate? I turn World Chat off the very first thing I do in a character, because I don't have time for that bullshit. And that's in any MMO. I do it in WoW, I do it in LotRO, I do it in DDO. Well, actually, DDO doesn't have a World Chat. I lied. Star Wars: The Old Republic. SWTOR. It's because I have no time for it. So Ithilrin used to be a dude, and used to be a minstrel. Well, Ithilrin is still a minstrel, but is a lady over on Peregrine. But used to be one of my crafter characters. Ithilris, Kirina, Loot 1. Let me check Loot 1. Ooh, you don't look like you have anything in your stuff. You have it stuck in a tab that you were named Mod Isley. Oh, Most Isley. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, because you never wretched den of villainy and scum and villainy. Exception is Final Fantasy 14 because people rarely use the world chats unless to announce hunt trains where you go around hunting rares, so they give out coordinates. See, that's actually really nice, Yami. That is actually really nice. Okay, Loot 3. Do you have anything cool in your inventory? Obviously, this character transferred over from another server because it's got Loot 1-1. But I'm not seeing anything in his inventory. That looks good. Yep. We can get rid of this character. I'm not even in a kinship, am I? Nope. Alright. No money? No money. Yeah. See, Final Fantasy XIV is very different in a lot of ways. And it's because of how they enforce things and because it's run by a Japanese company that doesn't fuck around. Yeah, ban somebody live on stream, yep. And unfortunately, they don't have the resources to do that in LotRO or DDO. Though I have successfully gotten somebody banned for like a week. But if I were to levy one criticism against how Standing Stone and the wider Daybreak moderation happens is when they action folks, they don't action them enough. They don't make it count. You can conceivably, and this has actually happened, so this is a real story, real anecdote. You and your guildies could be streaming, kinnies in this case, could be live streaming an exploit where you take something from the Ettenmoors and you bring it back to Bree and run it around and let this thing explode and kill people and laugh about it on stream. And all you'll get is maybe a week-long ban. A slap on the wrist. And you go back and do it again and nobody gives a shit. And so all of these penalties, they're nothing, right? You could mouth off on the forums all day long, and they don't have the resources to properly enforce shit. And I hate to break it to the official LotRO Discord. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there are people who try to be a part of the Discord and be part of the conversations. And I went on in a /ignore spree, like a whole pile of people, all they were doing is contributing noise. They were being hostile, they were being internet warriors, keyboard warriors, forum warriors, whatever you want to call them. And saying rude things and organizing rude things and just being toxic as fuck. And they're not getting banned. They're not getting kicked out. And so my feeling on community, and this might actually get me rejected from the content creator program, all things being considered, is your community is how you shape it. If you allow things to happen, then they're going to keep happening. Remind you of old Blizz, you had a guy stalk you, harass you in game, and told you where they doxed you, threatened you, your family. At the end of the first patch of Miss Blizz gave him a temp 2-week ban. It was because he made an alt to tell me as much. Ugh. Yeah, that's gross. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry that happened to you. But it is possible to shape a community to where the raging homophobes, the raging nationalists, the raging, shitty people, right? You can help shape that community. But if you don't nip that shit in the bud, you don't put your foot down and say, this is not acceptable, you do not need to be here if you can't behave yourself, then you're just going to have the shitty people run over the rest of your community with cleats. And expecting people to put up with that shit, I'm sorry, it's just... if you don't stand up for what you believe in, then the rules mean fuck all. It's exactly that situation. And I hate to say it, but And I can compare the LotRO and the DDO communities, and the DDO server has over 6,000 people in it. So, yes, it's a fraction of the LotRO community, but their community is a lot quieter. They're a lot more chill. There's only a few people who act up, and, you know, while there's still some shittiness against fellow players, there's some shittiness against Standing Stone, some snark, some whatever. Those people aren't the ones who are in charge of the entire flow of conversation. Like, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're an Automod. It's because you shout so much. The Automod is like, yummy, slammy. It's just a whole different world. And it's not just that the DDO community is older and more chill. No, they're not. There's a lot of graybeards in the DDO community, but by and large, they're not as horrible. And cuss? Oh, yeah, you do cuss a lot. Okay. So, not too many of these characters are ones that I'm going to be giving up, because these are characters I did actually play. So there aren't too many that I'm name holding. So I think we're done with Glamdring here. Who did we get rid of? We got rid of Catriona. And we got rid of Gryant. And I'll be honest, I kind of wish Standing Stone could manage full-time moderation from employees. Like, actually hire somebody to moderate the LotRO Discord. That way Core doesn't have to do it himself. And players don't have to do it on their own. I have opinions. And this is me being a little bit of a hypocrite, I'll be honest. I do have some opinions and thoughts on the notion of player moderators. With full disclosure, I am a player moderator on the DDO side, but it's a whole separate ball of wax that it's easier. It's an easier situation, less chaos, less stress. And I guess depending on, because of who volunteered to be a mod over there. Whereas on the LotRO side, there's always going to be people like, oh, moderators are being mean to me. They're playing favorites, blah, blah. I'm sure we get that too on the DDO side. But on the LotRO side, people would just say that straight up. Oh, hi, Kitty. Hi, Kitty. How is Yemmy's kitty doing? Singing the song of your people, as kitties should do. Okay. Oh yeah, this was the one. This is the Phoenix I put on Crick Hollow after I moved everybody to Langeval. And then I imported a Phoenix from... Actually, I think this one came from one of the Legendary Worlds. Either way, we're moving servers. We're going to a new server. Gonna be a birthday boy on the 10th. Oh, kitty birthday. Kitty birthdays are good days. Alrighty. Ron, Sting, Peregrine, Mary. Let's go to the Big O, Orcrist. This time of night, nobody's on Orcrist. Except there are still some people on Orcrist. Oh, you got your paws over your nosy. But with regards to the LotRO Discord, there's definitely a much larger noise to signal ratio over there. It is what it is. Just for my own sanity, just to make some part of it readable, I have so many people on Ignore over there. You get him toys. What you do is you get him a cardboard box. That's all he needs. Okay. Bits and bobs, we don't need. Alright, we can already get one right out of the gate. If they're in Mist Hollow, they've never come out of the starting instance. Crystal Dash 1. I don't think I have. She's in Thorn's Gate as a level 1, so she doesn't have anything on her. But let me check and see if she has anything interesting on her. So we did Glamdring, so we're on Orcrist now. Get him a box. Get him some string or something. Get him something simple. Man, all the titles. Okay, so this character clearly has nothing in her inventory. Because I haven't even merged the bags together yet. Okay, so she can go because I originally was... Somehow I did not manage to get the name Crystal on this server, and I don't know how I managed that. I think I was trying to bring a character... I don't know what I was doing. But I forgot to grab the name on this server. And I'm kind of mad because this is the only one of the new servers that I don't have it on. Okay, so we're going to delete that. No reason to keep her. Alright. I'm going to keep Wagon. I'm going to keep Silver. Going to keep Star Phoenix. Gariant can go bye-bye. Let me check loot real quick. Sadly, you only go to the official Discord if there's an issue and if you're seeing if they are mentioning it before an announcement. You find it unhelpful otherwise. Yeah, it's... Unless you silence the majority of people speaking in it. And I also have all of the class channels muted. Most of the server channels muted. So many channels are muted because there's nothing in them except people fighting. Especially the class channels. Like, I don't need to know the finer bits of the various channels. Or the various classes. They don't do anything for me. Loot the Lavish. That's a nice... That's actually kind of fun. Let's see if I have anything in my storage.
How do you do?
Hi, how are you? Nothing, and I have no money. Yeah, this character can go bye-bye. Except I do have these. The Adroit Rider gear. And I have them in wardrobe. I do have space in shared storage, so I'm going to throw them in shared storage for right now. Just in case I ever need to put them someplace. Oh yeah, this year will be the 19-year gift box. And then next year will be the good hotness for 20 years. Okay. So, nothing unusual, nothing weird here. So, alright. Loot can go bye-bye on Orcrist. Let's delete that row. Let's delete these 3 rows. So basically, we've got all of the coolest names here on Galamdring. I'm sorry, on Orcrist. So we've got this one winnowed down to any of the names I would actually play. So it's good times. All right. So Orcrist is done. Dunzo. Ping, Angmar, Mordor. Let's see what we got next. I think it's gonna be Angmar and Mordor. Yeah, we've done Orcrist, Gron, Sting, we haven't done Peregrine. I don't think I'm gonna be doing much cleaning on Peregrine because, yeah. Okay, yep, that's gonna be Angmar next. Yeah, Monoflare. I actually noticed that there are a couple of folks who use the disabled / handicap emojis on people in the DDO Discord, and yep, I notice. It's not acceptable there either. Okay. So, no reason to keep this character. Because somebody's sitting on the name Phoenix on both of these servers. Because I was at Gen Con when they launched these two servers, and so I lost out on getting the name Phoenix on both of them. So we don't need a burglar named Phoenix, huh? Star Phoenix is again a name I like to keep. Tomfoolery was fun, but I don't need it. Okay, so we're down to one page on Angmar. I'm sorry, are we on Angmar? Yes. We got rid of Phoenix. Got rid of Tomfoolery. It's a nice name. Okay, so we are done with Angmar. Easy enough. Let's go to Mordor. Does Kitty do the tap 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 when they want something yet? It depends. Sometimes they do. Not too often. Mainly Stormlost. When she wants to play, she'll just run over everything. And she'll also jump up on me and start making biscuits. Generally first thing in the morning when I'm supposed to get out of bed, and she was like, "Hey, you're awake! Hey, need make biscuits. Like you're a champion biscuit maker." But she's a champion snoozer right now. She's snoozing. Okay, so on this one, again, a lot of names that I haven't used, but nobody else is using them, so I don't mind squatting on them for a little bit longer. Because you never know. You never know. Alright, we're going to get rid of her. I was originally planning on playing both of these servers. This was before the other 64-bit worlds came out. But honestly, yeah. And Tomfoolery can go bye-bye. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that she didn't used to make biscuits, and she only just started doing it fairly recently, like the past couple of months. Delete you. And delete you. Okay. Well, let's go to Peregrine and actually goof off on Peregrine for the rest of the evening. Might cut out a little bit early, I don't know. Have you started your shift at the biscuit factory? Are you making cinnamon? Oh, cinnamon. Cinnamon. Okay. Is that like aluminium? Alright, let's go to Peregrine, where all my shit is. But there's a reason why I can't just delete characters on Peregrine willy-nilly. I need to clear stuff out of their inventories first if I do so. She's taken a baking correspondence course that they have got the second rise with. It's the yeesh. Yeah. I see what we did there. I'll see what you did there. All right. Okay, so we have 10 pages of characters. Do I need them all? Not really. Adora is named after Force Captain Adora because she's a captain. Force Captain Adora from She-Ra, Princess of Power. Alistair, I don't really need him. He's a reference to Alistair Stewart from the Excalibur comics in X-Men, so he could probably go, honestly, except he's storage. Azure Bell is Blue Bell from Landra Bell, who became Azure Bell. Bits and Bobs has storage. Actual Bluebell, this character has been Bluebell almost the entire time the game has existed. Burglarious, which has been a joke for Professor Corey, who says things are burglarious. And yeah, old Hobbits seriously need the Avatar update, for real, for real. Yeah. There's also Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart from Doctor Who spells it without the E, but when you spell it with the E, it's... Well, Marvel Comics has changed it over the years. He used to spell it with the E at the end. And now they spell it without the E for some stupid-ass reason. It's like, continuity, people. Here's our Catriona over here. I'm going to keep her. Cello, I kind of want to get rid of Cello, but look. She's so cool looking, and she's got these pale green eyes. Clothes Hobbit literally holds nothing but cosmetic outfits. Here's the OG Crystal. I don't think the elf update really did her much justice, honestly. Doubloons. Doubloons is a character who won a costume contest at Aiden St. Patrick's costume thingy. Fisticuffs, who, by the way, this outfit looks amazing on her. This outfit looks amazing on her. I love this outfit so damn much. Look at that. Look at that. Arid Lewin Blue, my love. Flute, don't really need her. Again, she's storage. Gauntlet. But I am going to start trimming back some of these characters. I don't need another brawler, though Gauntlet is a fun name for a brawler. He's the pretty one. And he knows he's the pretty one. He knows he's the pretty one. He used to be called Nathaniel, but then somebody else in the Signum community got the name Nathaniel on Peregrine, so I renamed him to Gauntlet, which is now a reference to the video game. If I want to put Burglarious and Girls in the Middle, all my characters are either... Adora is in the Feathered Hat Society, run by Agent Bregman. Kiriana is in Mythgard. Everybody else is in my own kinship, I think. But I have so many characters that are like duplicates of other classes that I already have. So it's like, why do I have this character? Why do I have a level 54 Bjorning? And I also have a level... I have 3 Bjornings. Oh, here she is. I have a level 45 Bjorning. And then I have a level 150 Bjorning. I don't need 3 Bjornings. But Kirilleth, she came about because I was doing a press article for MMORPG about the Bjorning class, and they got me a gift to the Valar to get her level boosted so I could start doing shit. Gloaming is the character who used to be Winter over on Treebeard. And there's no reason to have yet another low-level captain. I just like the name a lot, but I don't need the character. Kiressa is now the leader of Indigo Plant over on Peregrine, so that if I chose to, I could buy a kin house for Indigo Plant. which I might still do. Kyrie came over from Brandywine. She actually used to be the Kiriana from Brandywine, and she used to tank for Quartermaster Yu back when he was still worked at when he worked at Turbine, and he was doing some streaming in Moria. I miss that guy. I haven't talked to him in forever. Then again, Moonsilver is my High Elf Burglar because I wanted a High Elf Burglar. And I figured, like, he's an older guy. He's seen some shit. River Hobbit Runekeeper, Mulberries. Don't need another Runekeeper necessarily. Narluindir is actually named by Monoflare. And this used to be Alanon here. Is her surname Elisa? No, it isn't. She doesn't have a surname. Nightborn came over from another server. I don't need another captain. I really don't. So I don't need her for any particular reason. I'm not getting rid of my main. My OG character. And of course, my OG... Actually, I think this was my OG captain, High Elf captain here on... it was originally on Landerwell. She used to be Phoenix until I brought my main Phoenix over from Crick Hollow. Then I bounced her and gave her a new name. Phoenixian, my character, Department of Hobbit Security. And here's Pity. Here we go. Here's Pity. Look at Pity. Kinda getting a little mohawk going on there. Kind of the best look I could get for a human. It kind of works. It kind of works. Quicksilver is my other high level champion. Quicksilver is an elf friend, much like Gimli. That's why he's wearing elf gear. Rune Carver is literally holding all of those level 50 class items. You have to go get the various drops for. That way I don't ever have to deal with those ever again. Sapphire is my River Hobbit Hunter. She helped me grind the LI reward track last time by running Thickle Gundu over and over and over and over and over again. Saffronetta is on the chopping block. She used to be in the Lonely Mountain Band, but when I quit being in the Lonely Mountain Band, I didn't really need this character. And I only really had her in LMB so I could have a low-level character and not be on my officer character. But then, you know, I don't need her. I think she's storage right now. So as soon as I find a place to put all that shit, she's going bye-bye. Scamper. See, this is my big Bjorning. My big Bjorning. Look at her. She's amazing. She's a big rar. Then I got my big Mariner. He's a cutie. He's a cutie. Using the same appearance as Nathaniel the Brawler, but the hair is black. I don't know why I made it black. But I think there was a reason for it. I think I wanted him to be the dark-haired bad boy. Then we have my High Elf Mariner, because I made 3 Mariners, one for each spec. And so I was like, okay, well, I've got this this Aria of the Valar. Not the Aria. Yeah, the Aria is the 105. I was like, well, I need to use it somewhere, so I'll use it on her. Then I got a River Hobbit Mariner. And I put this outfit on her because somebody asked to see this outfit. And so she actually has a different outfit she normally wears. Shillelagh, Hobbit Lore Master. Good times. Stout X Captain. Rar. Definitely not getting rid of Silver. Silver's my housing character. Actually, let me log in Silver real quick. Because Silver has mail. Because anytime I get new housing items, they go to Silver. I'm not as in-depth with housing purchases and storage as many people in the D and Code Milieu Discord, but I will point out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bags of stuff. Plus a couple of boxes here of stuff that I haven't opened up because I need to level this character to be able to open them. What the fuck? So I got to get to level 75 to open all this shit. Or I'm sorry, level 45. And I would also like to go up to my house. This is one of the reasons why I bought the house up here, because it's right next to the amenities. And I'm one of those people other people bitch about. It's like, why do you have these special houses? You don't decorate them. I haven't decorated them yet. Yet is the key word here. By the way, pretty! I can never see that shit in real life because I live in the city. You're gonna leap on Rivendell's heart. You're gonna buy a whole fucking neighborhood, Malithor. I know you. You're gonna do that shit. It's gonna happen. I trust you. And then I've got nothing in my actual house storage, but my shared housing storage. It's actually not that bad. It's only 150 out of 60. So, yeah. Yeah. Why do I have BXP in my shirt? I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, that's a thing. I think you should. I mean, from my understanding of how they're going to build it, it's going to be easy for somebody to buy an entire neighborhood all for themselves. And I think on some level they're going to make it to where it's not going to be like one super special, super duper house and then every other house in the neighborhood's empty because nobody wants those houses. So I don't know. We'll see when it comes on Bull Roar. It's not on Bull Roar that's open now, though. I don't know. We could hop on Bull Roar and take a quick look. I don't know. And you can't see it, but I have not. And see, I rolled my silver roll. I saved my gold roll for stream tomorrow. So tune into LotRO stream tomorrow afternoon when I'm on. And you can see what I get for my gold roll. I'm going to save it for then. But yeah. You have to let your kin officers live in the kin house neighborhood with you, especially given you live with one of them. But a second neighborhood, yeah. I don't know if, I mean, I only got to see the one interior they had on Bull Roar once, so I don't know. I need to see the kin house, honestly, because it's gonna take a lot for me to want to give up a whole. It's a whole fucking island. Ugh. You want to see it with hooks, definitely. Yeah, we didn't get to see how the hooks came out. I mean, the design of the interior looked really, really cool. I think some people didn't realize that the neon colors inside it were actually just to tell you where the rooms ended. But it's gonna take a lot for me to be willing to give up my island. There is just the island is just so much. And it's got water. I love the water. If I can find a house that's got like a waterfall next to it, I'll be happier with it. That's one reason why I do like the special waterfall house in Lindleby is because it has that waterfall. It's why it's half of why I like the geode. Okay, a third of why I like the geode house in Erebor is because of the pools in the 2 rooms. Here, you know what? Chicken butt. Let's go visit. Because again, I have not decorated it. See, look at all these houses I own. Yeah. I have a mead hall. I haven't decorated it yet. I have plans. In fact, that's what I'm going to do some of my content on in LotRO. So I have to put that in my application. It's like, I have these plans to start decorating all this shit. It's actually an economic... Any high elf characters in your kin who did not have a racial port to Rivendell will suddenly have a kin house port there and not have to buy the new travel skill. Exactly. Plus, you know, I got my geode house in the exact neighborhood I wanted. The KYR letter scheme is something that's special to me. I love that in my character names. If I'm not doing cool names like Silver Phoenix or whatever. Glenarthen, when I was in college, I had a very dear friend from Wales whose name was Glenn. Him and his wife Jo were amazing people. I love them. And I got to meet them one time when I went to Minneapolis. I'll take a moment to think of Minneapolis right now. Fuck ice. And so I've always been very fond of this. And this is a very Welshy sort of name, even if it's not actual Welsh. They probably spell it Glenarvan or something like that. But that was the #1 neighborhood name I wanted in Lindleby. Fairpool was one of my top 3 choices. It actually was my #1 choice in Rohan, Fairpool. And Kelebmyth is, yeah, I know it's just 2 words jammed together. But of the ones that I wanted, it wasn't lowest on my list, let's put it that way. The Rebel Loon tattoos, hell yeah. I love those. All, like, the various states doing, like, the Rebel Phoenix with the state bird superimposed on it. Be good. If you can't be good, be pretty good. Oh. Ooh. Fuck yeah. That's solid. Right there. And I've got friends. I used to go to MarsCon. There's 2 MarsCons, by the way. There's one in Williamsburg, Virginia, and then there's one in Minneapolis. And I'd gone to the one in Minneapolis for many years, so I know a lot of people up there, and I still have a bunch of them on my Facebook, so yeah. One reason to keep Facebook is to make sure they're all safe and, you know, keep up on what they're up to, how they're coping, what they need help with. But yeah, they done fucked with the wrong state. Anywho, stuff that I cannot talk about on LotRO stream. But if you didn't know, our community manager considers himself a Minnesota boy, so he's keeping an eye on that shit too. Alrighty, so that's housekeeping done. We could do a little bit of gameplay, but I'm gonna save my big gameplay for LotRO stream tomorrow. I'm gonna pick up where we left off on the epic story. I will actually hold on, since I have some time. Let me go get her re-upped on her buffs, because her pardon me, I think her Wenda Cranesbill buffs are about to go away. So let's go over to the main. The main, you say? Phoenix! Phoenix has never had to change her name. She's always been Phoenix since 3 days before the game launched in 2007. Even throughout server transfers, I always managed to find a way to keep her name. Generally by having the name on the destination server and then bouncing that character into a new name when shenanigans happened. Yep, here I am. Who's that? Oh, hello. Am I virtue capped? I am virtue capped. Hold on. Oops, Okay, so zeal is at max, wit is maxed, fidelity's maxed. I guess valor is next. Whoops, I need this. And 19 hours and change. Let's go find Wenda Crane's built, and then we'll come back here to Ahaba. And where's the stable master again? Man, this is so pretty. This is so pretty. There's a stable master in town. I think he's over. I think it's actually closer going this way. We're at chapter 16.10. We're supposed to talk to Asharmul back here. Asharmul over wherever. Over here. In order to... we're going to sneak ourselves into the play. In order to do something. I've been really enjoying the game in these southern lands. I like to see where the devs managed to expand Middle Earth in a way that still feels
May your
Tolkien.
day prove profitable.
Thank you so much. Eastgate Swift. Eastgate would be on that side. Yeah, let's do that. And that way we can just go to the West Gate and then go back to the East Gate and then, yeah. We do know the next zone added to the game will be further south, and it will be an update that will conclude the Mizadi story, the Shara, the renewed Hamat story, and tie that in a little knot in a bow. Let's go to the West Gate. And then for the expansion this fall, we're going north again. The question is, where in the north do you think we're gonna go? What is left in the north that's big enough to focus an expansion on?
Would you do something for me? Hello there.
Hi. I mean, the obvious big ticket item is going to be Rune. But there's also Miniriath is a possibility, but there's nobody who lives there. It was emptied of people because of the plagues in years past. So it's like, okay. Kutra. Let's go back to the East Gate. Not the Gate of Sorrows? No, it's right here. Durr. Can't read. I can't read. Sometimes my reading comprehension lacks.
May the seas be calm and the winds fair.
There we go. Ahaba. So I'm looking forward to having, working on some more focused content for both LotRO and DDO. Again, going back to the Let the Dice Decide stuff with DDO, though I will acknowledge that with the expansion, or not the expansion, but the anniversary in DDO coming up soon, I'm going to be probably hard focusing on that unless there's just nothing in the rewards that I'm interested in. But we'll see. And with LotRO, once I complete this story, then I could be a little bit lazy about leveling up the alts to 160. I already have my Warden at 160 because I don't like playing Warden, so I leveled him up through the festival. Wait a minute, where am I going? I'm going over here. Excuse me. And then I'll slowly level up the other characters to 160 over the course of the next year, because I've got plenty of time. And leveling alts is a good way to also grind the LI reward track. Let's see where I am on that as well. Let's see, 20, 40. We're working on 42. And I'm only interested in getting to level 50, and we've got like a month and 3 days left on that, so I feel confident. Well, that'll be easy to get to, so that'll be fun. Yeah, because this is the one that I want. Right here, the blue drakeling. Because I noticed in the collections panel it said sapphire drakeling. I'm like, well, hell, I want that. So there's that. Anyhow, I think we're pretty much done. Even though it hasn't been a full 3 hours, I'm kind of feeling a little tired. And I'm gearing myself up for either shoveling the snow, some more of the snow tomorrow, which will include like the Hobbit-sized pile of snow that the city plows decided to deposit at the end of my driveway. But I do want to be able to get... I'm not getting my car out of the garage. It's just not happening tomorrow. But the hope is, if I can at least get some of the stuff done tomorrow, then I can finish the rest of it on Saturday. And then, you know... Because there's a path for somebody to get down. Oh, it's Carney. Hi, Carney. I can get groceries in. I'm very privileged in that. Grocery delivery here in town is pretty decent. A sleepy sheepy. Good luck with the snow. Thanks, Yami. Good luck with the... It's fucking cold out here. Freezing your tits off in Canada. Holy fuck. But it should be okay. I mean, the worst part of it is actually going to be... Don't laugh, Yemi. It's only going to be... well, let me take a look at the weather forecast. Saturday night is supposed to be the coldest. And according to the weather app, it's supposed to get down to... Oh, it actually increased a little bit. It's supposed to get down to -1 Fahrenheit. -1 freedom units. Which is... It is warmer by a bit, yeah. But the high is only going to be 16 on Saturday. But it's going to go up from there. And it's going to actually climb to where the high is going to be 40 on Friday of next week. But it looks like we're going to get some more snow on Tuesday and Wednesday. That kind of bites. That kind of bites. It doesn't say how much, so don't know. But yeah. Yep. It do be what it do be. -2 right now. It was -40 last week. Fuck that noise. That's when your snot freezes. I don't like it when it's cold enough where your snot freezes. Then 21 Fahrenheit freedom units for the rest of the week. Yep. Anyhow, I'm going to get out of here. And I'm going to take care a little bit early. Again, I'll be on LotRO stream tomorrow, starting around 1 o'clock. If Cordo is on, it'll be after him. If he's not on, it'll be whenever I feel like it after 1 o'clock. And I will also be here Saturday night. We might be running some DDO. One last run through the Symphony of the Fae event, I think, maybe, question mark. And then Sunday night, I'll be on DDO stream. We'll be back on DDO stream because I skipped last week. I didn't skip it. I did a makeup stream on Monday instead. Why do you live where the air hurts your face? Well, you live where you can live, right? And then Monday, I'll be back here with something. So there's going to be more LotRO content, actual gameplay content, coming up here in the near future. Gonna play a little less DDO, kind of balance that scale a little bit. Balance your scale a little bit. Now that one DDO event is ending, but then again another one's starting up at the end of the month. But hey, I have all month to grind some content. And even though the initial post about the LotRO content creator program was kind of discouraging, and it is being run differently than the DDO content creator program, I'm still going to apply with what stuff that I have, and I'll make note of the reasons why I wasn't doing a lot of LotRO recently. But we'll see how it goes. All right. You know the drill. Be good. If you can't be good at it. And I will talk to you all later. All right. All right. Bye now.